So for the class, can someone check if others are facing any problems for joining?
Yeah, and I have done the live streaming, so I'll send a YouTube link on the chat right now.
You have sent a link. Is that not
Yeah,
the...
yeah. The same link. The same link. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, let me know when I can start. So I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah. So Professor Behel has joined.
Hi, Dr. Bell. Honored to have you here.
Yeah, your oldest student ever.
So now I'll get a lot of good questions.
So the class, can you check? I expect some more students to join if they are facing any problem, or what is it?
Good morning, sir. Sir, I'll just drop a message on the class group also, sir.
Huh. Otherwise, we should start in a couple of minutes. Hmm. Okay. Any inputs from the class regarding others joining?
Sir, we are not able to contact, sir. So we'll try, sir, but we can
Okay.
start the lecture, sir.
Okay. Another two, three, four people I would expect to join. I think let us start, Sandeep.
Okay.
So let me just introduce Mr. Sandeep Kumar. So he is the CEO of Voxomos Systems Private Limited, and it has been working in this space of speech technologies. It started off with speech technologies and then has now also diversified into uh, other technologies, but they all revolve around uh, human and machine interaction. So, under this broad theme, Mr. Sandeep Kumar will present this lecture along with several demos that he plans to give. So he is an IIT Kanpur graduate, and thereafter he worked in the industry in top industries related to DSP, digital signal processing technologies. So he has a wide experience, and then few years back he decided to open his own company, and he will present basically what it does, what the company does. So it is not just limited to speech, but other technologies also around speech. So with this introduction, I give the floor to Sandeep to take over.
Okay. So thanks, Dr. Arun. It's a real pleasure and honor to be here. I do this guest lecture almost every year, and every year things change and they become like more topical, and you will see how the future is also getting mapped to some of the things we do. We have been working in this area now for more than 5 years, and the name Voxomos is that you start with voice, like Om is the first sound of the universe, but then the whole universe has other things like text and images. So that's where we are today. And the latest thing we have actually done is to integrate all of these different modes with voice as the center, and then actually provide a very good digital experience. So I'll just share my presentation. And this is also being recorded so on the YouTube. So if anyone has any issues, they can just join the direct YouTube link. Can everyone see my presentation? And is the voice clear?
Yes, yes, it is
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So welcome to this presentation. It's I have like till 12:30. There is a lot of material, so I might actually go fast, but you are welcome to ask questions, and we can cover them offline on like after the lecture also. So this technology, as Dr. Arun mentioned, so we have just this tagline called humanized technology, and you'll see what we mean by this. So we'll give you a brief introduction of what we are doing, and then even if you know all of these things, I'll just take a few moments to explain what AI, speech, language, image, text, and I'll keep music towards the end. It gets the most attention, but currently our focus is more on the speech, language, image, and text interactions. And then this is something new. This was not there last year. So we have actually now gone beyond voice to some multimodal interactions, which actually involve images and text in the same interaction. And then there will be a lot of demos. So let's see if we can show as many as we can. And you're free to ask questions. You can actually raise hand here or even write it on the chat, and someone will read it out for me, or I can take a look after I finish the presentation. So this is the new thing. So I just put it at the front. So which is when we say multimodal, voice is still at the center, and then images and touch. And this is like a very natural way human beings interact with each other. So and if you really think through what we are saying here, it actually goes beyond what the Amazon Alexa and Google Home today does. So they are a pure voice uh, kind of devices, and they are, you have to buy external hardware devices. Here we are actually claiming, and we will show it to you, how we can give you a better experience, which is an audio visual experience on your existing hardware, which is your phones or your laptops. And I'll also explain how this whole technology is built brick by brick, and it can actually change some of the things we do today, the way we do it. So this is just more like a marketing slide, a digital experience. So every company today is actually going through what they call a digital transformation. And it might feel like it's a simple thing. It takes years and years. Many of the manufacturing industries today got hit during the COVID times, and now they have understood the power of the digital transformation, getting to their customers directly. So it's an ongoing thing, and AI is coming in, and some of these speech technologies are becoming very important for some of the digital transformation that's happening for many of these companies. So this is means you already know it, but I am just trying to give you a proper kind of overview. So where do we use AI? The broad usage areas is like we process large data to get patterns and insights. So speech recognition can also kind of fall here. Help automate routine tasks. This is how it's used in the industry in many different ways, like in the call center or the customer care industry. It can predict likely outcomes based on data. So you can actually have predictive models based on this, and they are more accurate than the previously known models. Then you can detect anomalies and reduce human errors and fraud. So there are a lot of errors which radiologists do when they see your X-ray and MRI and CAT scan. So that part is actually getting automated through some of these image recognition and AI technologies. And so it's getting automated in the sense a good radiologist will get help from some of these systems. And then you can actually make some of these devices intelligent and smart, which is already happening. When we say intelligent, smart, we actually mean more human friendly. So typing and touch have been there, but they are not always human friendly. There are many places where voice and image and other forms of interactions are actually more intuitive. And then it's used to understand consumer behavior and design, and maybe place the products, the individual patterns, like all those recommendation systems and Netflix and all of those in the entertainment domain also. Even Google uses it. It has some pitfalls. It tries to once you click on something, it is trying to kind of show you more of the same thing. So that's not always true, but over time, it will actually catch on to your likes and dislikes, and it can start giving you those options. And at the core, we are actually with this technology which is there, moving away from the rule based or feature extraction systems, and let the machine learn the pattern. So quickly going to voice as a signal, you must have studied and you may know many of the algorithms. At the top, there is, in just one sentence, there is more to it, and some of the psychologists know it. And now the machine is going to also catch some of these nuances. So, which is, it has content, which is the speech to text technology. Then it has identity and security. So that's called voice authentication or biometrics. So when I talk, you know on the phone that this is Sandeep talking or Amit talking or Dr. Arun talking. So it actually has the identity inside that voice itself. Then it also has emotion and sentiment inside. And that's also an open area in terms of industry, but a lot of work has already gone into the actual work in the academics. And when you see it's a voice is a very useful way, and maybe people have realized more during these COVID times. It at a distance, contactless commands and interactions are possible. So, like if you go to the ATM, you today have to touch the ATM and then get the cash out and all. So during these COVID times, like an ATM which was touchless would have been very useful. And then there is a very small thing. What happens is you can study with the radio, but maybe with the TV is on, you cannot. So voice has a very nice property that you can do voice announcements and they do not disturb your normal hands-free workflow. And you will see small devices which are there on those Paytm sound boxes, which only announce in a busy, like a busy shop. It just announces how much money someone has paid. So it's a very simple text-to-speech application, and these are actual sound boxes which are put there. You should note it when you go next to your nearest mother dairy. And it's a pretty straightforward thing, but it's very useful because the guy is very busy. He doesn't want to lose his business. There are a lot of people queuing, and then people are making payments. So this device just announces the payment. So he knows that, okay, I got this paid, I got this paid. But there can be like, you can think through, and maybe you will come up with more such devices or use cases which are there. So that's about voice. Similarly, means I'll just slightly rush through them. Images have their own thing, and everyone kind of intuitively understands it. But in terms of this technology, face recognition is today reaching human level accuracy. And combined voice and face matching is pretty intuitive, in the sense that when you walk into the bank, means you should not be like asked to sign and do that. Once you know, they know that you are the customer through your voice and face. And there are many such use cases. These are all biometric or more secure kind of interactions which can be made possible through this. And now and many people then ask you that, okay, if I mimic the voice, and also yes, you can do it and the accuracy will slightly go down. But now there are applications that can actually do live detection, whether you are actually showing a recording or it's a live voice. So there is a live voice detection, or it's a spoof detection. So these kinds of algorithms are also coming into play to make it better. So it will never be 100%, but it can always be better. And this better will actually be always be better than what we do currently. So whatever we do currently, all the frauds in the banks and all, those will go down by using some of these technologies. Emotion detection from gestures and face expressions. It looks very hi-fi, but it's completely possible today, and it's needed by many people, especially when you are doing when you are talking to a customer. You want to know whether the person will actually buy or whether he has a propensity to buy and all. So some of these technologies will actually get us there, and they will be helping the other person know from the gestures, and it might feel slightly, I would say, not right, but the technology is there. How we use it is up to us. And then video conferencing became the de facto mode, like this class also we are doing. And this is a plain video conferencing, but there's a lot of these AI technologies which can be provided inside such a platform, and we can get some customer insights. One of the things which we had a demo and we would integrate it here in the video conferencing. And by the way, we built this whole video conferencing ourselves. So this Voxmeet is our platform, and we use it for many interactions. And we have a few customers who use it regularly for classes. So one of the things you can do in such a platform is what is called a combination of text to speech and language translation. Meaning, let's say you don't know English and I don't know, let's say, Bengali. Then I can talk in English and the system will do speech to text, convert it into English text. Then there will be a text translation from English to Bengali. And then it will turn the Bengali text to speech. So you will hear my sentence into in Bengali, and it may not be real time today, but it will be near real time, and it may have a few inaccuracies because of the text translation, but the rest of the things will pretty much work well. And that language, and you can talk back to me in your native language, and I'll hear this in English. So this is possible today, and maybe we did not have time to put that demo inside this platform, but we can actually do that with some of the APIs which are available. Okay, so that was a quick overview of how we view the world with all of these technologies. People have different views, and there are a lot of companies who claim a lot of things, but yes, this is a mix of text, image, and voice at the center, which we want to show how it can transform consumer experience and businesses through voice, image, text, touch, and language applications. And these are based on the latest AI and ML techniques. So we actually have these three platforms which we today sell in the market. So the top one is a VoxBot, which is a voice plus text platform. And VoiceBot is a mixture of three technologies, which is TTS, text to speech, speech recognition, and NLP, which is a natural language processing. If you combine all the three, then you come to what is called conversational AI, and that's where the voice bots are. They are nothing but mimicking a human conversation in voice. That's it. So it's in terms, the computer has to break it down into this, but and a lot of people in the AI claim that this whole thing is based on the human brain. I would just say that it is just inspired by the human brain in terms of the structure. We actually don't know how the human brain really functions. It definitely does not do what I am saying here, which the way the computer does. That it does not do a sequential thing of speech to text and then understand it, and then through NLP, and then do a text to speech. So we have all of these hardwired into a more complex system. So I would say that the current AI machines who claim a lot of human brain capabilities, those are like aeroplanes are inspired by birds, but they are really not flying like birds. If you really look at it, birds are more efficient flying machines even today. So I'll leave you with that thought because there is a lot of hype with AI. And yes, as we work, these are the early days of some of these technologies. So maybe 20 years down the line, we may have some more tech into it. But today, it's very far from all the claims about replacing human beings are not true today in some of these capabilities. And then Voxmeet is a customizable unified communication. And Vox Engage is a new thing, that's the beyond voice multimodal, which we will show to you. So quickly going through what all we have been doing. So we work in all of these deep tech areas. We actually built some of the stack from scratch in the early days with Dr. Arun, especially in the voice. So we built a text to speech engine from scratch. So everything we own. And later we actually changed those models from the concatenative speech synthesis to the DNN models as the quality actually improved. And then we also worked on something called voice transformation, which is a pretty unique thing. I used to have a demo where I can call you with change voices, and it's there, but we have slightly moved away from it. We'll actually bring it back later, but I can tell you what it does. And then we have a lot of these innovative applications. And then when you go to the business and industry, the problems are similar. So customer onboarding, customer surveys, customer alerts, conversational commerce in native languages. So these are some of the different verticals and use cases where these technologies fit and actually provide much better solutions than the existing one. This is kind of our timeline. And yes, I'll just go. Recently, eBay became our customer for customer onboarding. MG Motors chose us as their conversational AI partner. And there are more things you can do in the car with voice today, because a modern car is it's not really improving in terms of any of its capabilities, except that it's becoming an electric and other stuff. More changes are happening in the infotainment systems and all the electronics which is there inside. So advanced driver assistance systems, infotainment systems, and all of that. Some of these technologies are at the center of those experiences. So in-car experiences are actually being built using some of these technologies. And then we went into this customer surveys and conversational commerce. I'll come back to it. This is kind of the future where some of the things are happening. And when people say conversational AI, most of them, they claim voice, but they actually do only the text one. And everyone is I would say conversant with it. It's not a great experience, and most people don't use it after a few times. It's not the current text bots which are there on every website. They are pretty, I would say, bad in terms of quality, and they need a lot of improvements to reach a real human interaction. So this is the team quickly. So Anil is a very senior member. He came to us from Nuance. Nuance is a speech company which got acquired by Microsoft. Dr. Arun, you know, Sandeep is myself. And then Arun said, he's our mentor advisor. He's a well-known name in the technology companies. And then we have some very good people on our advisory board. So we have Sudhir, who heads the MasterCard AI division worldwide. So these are our clients, but let's actually now it's time to. These are some of just a detail of how whatever you have been doing can be transformed using some of these new technologies. So you open an account. This is a banking thing. If you go down, we can actually go and automate or improve any of these processes or one or more of these processes through some of these technologies. And the way we do it is you actually take the whole customer journey and see where all the automation can be done or improvements can be done. So you can see, you can improve how the customer comes into your bank, how the multi-factor authentication, which is more secure, can happen. and then how it can be even personalized. So because the bot can also remember the history of all your interactions and can actually become more like personalized. So I'll come to a few demos just to make it more interesting. So that was a like a very high level overview of uh, how these technologies are being used to solve some of the real life business problems. And if you go deeper into any one of them, there you will see how all of these can be combined to make a much powerful, like a more powerful solution. So there are a lot of demos we have. I'll start with the basic ones, and then we can see how far we go into all of these. And I've kept the music one at the end because if we have time, then I will show you some of the music things. Okay. So let me go to the first demo, which is a very simple demo, and you must have seen it. So this is a. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So this is this is a simple text to speech demo. The things which are going in here, and you should be very careful. There are multiple technologies which are happening. So I type Hindi in English. So this process is called transliteration. So it's a simple piece of technology, but kind of entering Hindi is still a challenge. So if you are a researcher and an innovative person, you should not claim that that problem is solved. It is still a challenge today. Yes, there are solutions out there, but how good are they? You can take a look at it. Even your phone actually has one. But with word completion and other things, now it will actually become better. So the main challenge then comes is how the when we speak or when we write, we actually today don't write one language. We do what is called a multilingual thing in the same sentence, which is English or something. And that is still challenging for most of the current software to do. And if you're using WhatsApp, you will see if you type a Hindi word, if you type ko, it will change it to okay. So if you're trying to write English, it's a nightmare using your WhatsApp text. तो कहिए I'm just writing Amit's name. Amit ji, आज आप कैसे हैं? Okay. And the quality, what I'm showing here is not the best quality. We have a much better quality thing, but just to illustrate the point. So now you can see what the parameters are here. So one of the parameters is the language itself. And then these are the speaking rate parameters, which I can demonstrate.
वाक्य संश्लेषण की दुनिया में आपका स्वागत है। कहिए अमित जी आज आप कैसे हैं?
So this is the plain zero per. If you increase the rate, you can do anything, and this is useful. Different people want to hear or get this like book audio at different rates. Some people may want it to be slower. Depending, the pace can be adjusted based on the person's interest.
वाक्य संश्लेषण की दुनिया में आपका स्वागत है। कहिए अमित जी आज आप कैसे हैं?
And then later it becomes very fast, so it's slightly unnatural.
वाक्य संश्लेषण की दुनिया में आपका स्वागत है। कहिए अमित जी आज आप कैसे हैं?
And it can be made slower. So maybe some elderly people may like to hear the news slightly slowly.
वाक्य संश्लेषण की दुनिया में आपका स्वागत है। कहिए अमित जी आज आप कैसे हैं?
Okay, so you can see.
वाक्य संश्लेषण की दुनिया में आपका स्वागत है। कहिए अमित जी आज
So this will put you to sleep. So you can actually do that. So English is there, and you can say, yeah, hi. This is the old technology. This is not the DNN one. So it is slightly robotic, but the one we have, we will show you in the later demos.
You can increase the speaking rate.
Students, welcome to Voxomos.
Yeah. Let me increase, yeah.
Hi students, welcome to Voxomos. Nice to have you here. Thanks for visiting us. Voxomos text-to-speech team.
And then there is a unique thing. This might seem easy, but something Dr. Arun and I had to sit down. When you do Indian names inside English, so you write them like this, and the problem is when you say Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the dha sound does not exist in English, but you still want to. So it's actually a real English problem, and it is solved with some deep technology inside. It's not done by pure English or pure Hindi.
Amit Gupta, Ram Murari Lal, Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
So when we say Indian accent, what people don't realize is it's not just the accent. There are a lot of phonemes which are actually there in Hindi, which are missing in English. And there are a few phonemes which are actually there in English and missing in Hindi. So what we have to do is to have a union or like the complete superset of all those phonemes and then generate this speech from them. So we had to do what's called the extended. We did both. So we did extended ARPA. So there is a ARPA bet kind of. There is an IPA for the phonemes, and then there is this extended. There is an XAMPA also. So there are 2-3 different phonetic things in there. Okay. Now this is what we showed till last year. Now I'll show you something where now the video is getting inside this text to speech, and you'll see how engaging it becomes. And this is some other company, but Dr. Arun and I have talked about it. These are called Vizims, like phonemes. You have how your lip syncing can be done as someone talks about it.
Our video creation platform enables you to communicate more than 40 at the click of a button.
So if you just change the language here, so you will see.
আমাদের ভিডিও তৈরির প্ল্যাটফর্ম আপনাকে একটি বোতামে ক্লিকে 40টিরও বেশি ভাষায় যোগাযোগ করতে সক্ষম করে।
So it is text to speech, but it's also doing a video generation and a lip syncing. And I'll connect these thoughts later in some of the demos, and you will see how powerful it can be in many customer situations. Once you do that, you imagine that your brand ambassador of a company, let's say it's a ICICI Bank or Domino's Pizza. So let's say is one celebrity like Amitabh Bachchan. So any interaction you do, he will be present to do it. In Domino's, you will be getting. He will say, "Okay, sir, what is your order?" And the face will also be his, and the voice also can be his. So you can see what kind of an interaction you will actually get on the digital domain, which might actually beat your physical experience when you actually go to the shop. So all of these are very much possible today with the current state of technology. We just do one Hindi also, so you will. So it has Gujarati, yeah. So this is text to speech with lip syncing.
हमारा वीडियो निर्माण मंच आपको एक बटन के क्लिक पर 40 से अधिक भाषाओं में संवाद करने में सक्षम बनाता है।
Okay. So this was text to speech with a video generation. So let me actually stop here and see if people are really interested in asking a few questions.
Are there any questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, as you mentioned that it can be a celebrity voice. Sir, recently Alexa has launched in the Amitabh Bachchan's voice. So, sir, what will be they using, or what is the challenge in that as compared to the normal?
So that's actually one sub part of text to speech. It is called custom text to speech development. Okay. So you take the voice of the person and build the text to speech engine in his or her voice. Okay. So that we know. It's just that Amazon has too much money to give to Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and they did not give it to Dr. Arun and I. So we approached Amitabh Bachchan 5 years ago, and we said we will build this, but he had no time for us. But he has time for Alexa. We did it through a like a mix of technology. There are two ways you can do it. One is you build this whole engine. That's the custom text to speech way. The other is you keep your best text to speech, which we have done, because pronunciation and words and all of that, and then you apply a voice transformation layer on top of it. So when we did it a few years ago, we actually did it the second way. So then you can turn one person's voice into someone else's voice. So these are kind of the two ways you can do this. So does that
I
answer
sir.
your question?
Yes, sir.
And today with neural nets, you can actually merge those two nets together. So yes, means it's pretty straight forward to build some of these things today once you have done these two technologies separately. Okay. So let me then go to the second part of this, which is your speech recognition part. Let me see. This is our site, and I'll just, so this is speech recognition. But the way we present it, and this one was actually done with MG Motors also. Uh, so there are a lot of, there is a continuous speech recognition, and then there is a phrase recognition. So this one is more for phrases, just for the demo side, but it can be very accurate. So if I select one of these, let's say car infotainment. So these were the commands you can give from inside the car. Okay. So then I can say, and this is pretty much in English. It is not English or Hindi. So I have to actually switch off it. Let me come back. Yeah, maybe I switched off my thing, so you didn't hear. I can do it again. घर का एड्रेस सेट करो. Okay, so this is and you can dynamically grow this phrase. I can give, like, I can continue, I can say something which is not in this, and you will see that it will not be, means it will be accurate, but a few things, a few words may go haywire. Then once I put them in this phrase list, then it will actually be very accurate. Let me try this. देखिए क्या होता है. डॉक्टर अरुण को कृपया फोन लगाएं. अच्छा, it actually got it already, so I don't really have to do it. But sometimes if you say English, it will get that word transcribed incorrectly, and then when you add it to this phrase list, it will become more accurate. It says, "Did we get it right?" So this is a plain speech recognition thing. So it also asks me, "Did I get it right?" It basically at the back end it stores all those cases where we did not get it right, and then we can train the engine again and make it better for the next time. Okay, so this is a plain speech recognition. This is a phrase recognition thing. But as we move along, I will show you more details of the continuous speech recognition also. And there are other kinds of phrases here, like all song selection and all can also happen. And in songs, and you can actually play the video directly from that. Means we had that demo, we just removed some of it. So you say Suno na Sangmarmar and it will actually start playing that YouTube video right here. Abhi mujhme kahin. So these are all mostly Hindi kind of phrases, but you can pretty much do any kind of phrases in Hindi and English mixed here. Let's try some difficult one. Let's see what it says. Zubi doobi. Zubi doobi. Okay. It got it. Okay. So let me then go back where we are. So I have given you a text to speech demo, speech to text demo. Now we'll give you a VoxBot demo, which is a NLP demo. I'm not really. Gajendra, are you here?
Yes, sir. I have sent it.
Okay. So can you quickly give a text bot demo? I'll stop my screen sharing.
Yes, sir. I have sent to your number. So.
Acha.
Yes.
Okay. So I need to show it here. So this is one of the simplest demos, but it's actually helping eBay onboard their customers. So as soon as the customers come, there is a lot of information which is required. So after the first time, they hand it to our text bot, and then so you see it says, "Thank you for showing interest to sell on eBay." It's treating me like I am the exporter or who is registering. To continue, type yes. So I type yes. It's a pretty rudimentary but very useful. What is the nature of your business? So I can say anything. I'm saying manufacturer, brand, owner. This is a pure text one. Then it asks me what is the category of business. So I can say others. And then how many number of products you say. You must be familiar with this. Many customer care things today are done in this manner. And I'm showing this to you to show how unintuitive also it is. Means it's not the best way to do this, but it's straightforward and easy to do this. Yes, on WhatsApp. So what the bot is doing is taking these answers and then it will collect and populate it in the database. Here you can check whether the GST in number is correct or not. So all of those things can be done right here, and then the conversation can be conditional. Like if the number is not correct, then you ask him to correct it. And this is, do you have a pan? So I'm just saying yes, no to some of these things. I say yes. Then it has given me some places where I can actually get my PAN number and the exporter code done. So the idea to mix the voice bot here is, let's say I don't respond after the third question, I don't respond. Then there will be actually a call going to this person, like in this case me, and which will say, sir, you have just responded to 3 of your questions. Can you respond to the following question now or on WhatsApp? So if you do it now, it can be taken in voice also. And that way the whole customer onboarding flow is automated, and more people are more likely to become customers of eBay through this automation. Okay, so that was the quick NLP demo. Now all of this gets combined, and now I'll quickly show you what we call the Vox Engage demo. Yeah, so Vox Engage demo is basically a video conference only.
So you will also show the voice bot.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So here are a lot of bots we integrated into this video conferencing because we own both of them.
Okay.
So this is the one of the best ways to demo it actually. Otherwise, I have to make a call to all of you, or
Yeah.
someone has to bring the phone close to the mic and say what's happening. I'll take one of these. Let's take the first one and see.
नमस्कार, मिडलैंड माइक्रोफिन की तरफ से जरूरी जानकारी। क्योंकि आप कंपनी के महत्वपूर्ण मेंबर हैं, कंपनी आपको दोबारा लोन देना चाहती है। क्या आप मिडलैंड से लोन लेना चाहते हैं?
हाँ, लेना चाहते हैं।
ओके, आपका अभी कितनी कंपनी से लोन चल रहा है?
3 कंपनी से चल रहा है।
आपके सभी कंपनी से चल रहे लोन की कुल बकाया राशि कितनी है?
1,10,000।
धन्यवाद। हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं कि मिडलैंड 21.89% के ब्याज दर पर लोन देती है, जिसकी किस्तें 28 दिन बाद आती है। आप 11,000 से लेकर 40,000 तक का लोन ले सकते हैं। क्या आप लोन लेना चाहते हैं?
हाँ, लेना चाहता हूँ।
ओके, हमारे सीईओ आपसे जल्द ही संपर्क करेंगे। अपना कीमती समय देने के लिए धन्यवाद। आपका दिन शुभ हो।
Okay, so this is a proper humanized interaction, and 3 things are going on. When I speak, there is a speech to text, then that is understood through NLP, and then the bot responds to it. So if you see, this is what the bot interaction actually saw. So 3 companies say loan chal raha hai, 1,10,000, and all the recording is also here. And the duration was 60 seconds, can be more or less.
नमस्कार, मिडलैंड माइक्रोफिन की तरफ से जरूरी जानकारी। क्योंकि आप कंपनी के महत्वपूर्ण मेंबर हैं, कंपनी आपको दोबारा लोन देना चाहती है। क्या आप मिडलैंड से लोन लेना चाहते हैं? हाँ, लेना चाहते हैं।
So that's the whole recording. So this is a voice bot which is there, and if you really look at it, it can be multilingual. So that's why I showed you Hindi. Okay. And then I can actually, I'm mixing my phone with my laptop, so I have to. Okay. Yeah. So you can see we have English one, MG car booking also if you are interested. And then there is a Bahasha. This is an Indonesian language. I can play this. I don't understand it, but we have built it and the customer is happy. It's a Bahasha loan EMI reminder.
Halo, ini adalah pengingat panggilan untuk pembayaran kartu kredit Bank Arta Anda. Kartu kredit Anda yang diakhiri dengan 7.734 memiliki tagihan Rp30.000 dengan tanggal jatuh tempo tanggal 15 Maret. Apakah kamu sudah melakukan pembayaran?
I don't understand you.
Kami mengirimkan tautan ke
Okay, so they just to show that the multilingual capabilities are there, and we can actually do all the languages of the world actually, as we go along. So
So what
as
is the language specific input here?
so this text to speech was now being, the bot was talking in Bahasha, and I was supposed to respond in Bahasha, but I don't know Bahasha. So this is
So
what this was
basically,
talking
both
on.
the TTS and the recognition, the phrase
Yes,
recognition, would
yes,
require that would be language specific.
yes, yes, and even the text understanding, the NLP would also be that. Means it's clear. I showed a Hindi one, so quickly if we go through.
So my
Um,
question is that you could build it from here. So
My
basically,
name is Deepti. I am
sorry,
calling
sorry,
from
sorry.
MG Motor India.
Just
Is
a
this a
minute.
good time to talk?
I'll close this. Just a minute. Sorry.
Sorry. I
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
uh,
Sorry. What
no,
was
my
the question?
question was that you could build it sitting here. So what was the input you required, which person like we would not know Bhasha? So what was the input required, which you did not have locally?
Also, the phonemes can be different, and then means it's a lot of data actually. Speech
Hmm.
recognition, you require like 100 hours of
Yeah.
um, audio for.
So you used all that.
Yeah, we need access to a lot of data and a language expert who can actually help us in, like, if the software is going wrong, then someone needs to understand where the improvements have to be done. Like
Okay.
if it does a mistake in text to speech, I don't know Bhasha, so I will not be able to pick that mistake and fix the bug in my tool. So we need a language expert, and we need a lot of data to get these engines
Okay.
built. Yeah. 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 Sorry. So if this is clear, or I can just do a quick English demo.
Hello. My name is Deepti. I am calling from MG Motor India. Is this a good time to talk?
Yes, it is.
So you need to unmute that.
Sorry, I am unable to understand. Could you please repeat?
Yes, it is.
Sir, I think you forgot to unmute.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, it is.
We are given to understand that you have cancelled the MG Hector booking. Could you please help us to understand the reason for cancellation?
Oh, your order was delayed and it was costly.
Have you purchased the other car?
Yes, I have.
Congratulations for a new car. May I know which car have you finally purchased?
I purchased Toyota.
Okay, please provide your feedback. It would be helpful for us to understand the reason for shifting to other brands.
I'll be okay if you can make your car more affordable and deliver it on time.
Thank you for your feedback. We expect your engagement with MG in near future. Have a nice day.
Okay, so this was a pretty much free flow conversation which was happening here, and it is capturing a lot of data. Which competitive car you bought for your order was, and what is the feedback, what is the reason, and you can make your car more affordable and deliver it on time. And obviously the audio is all here. So this is an example of a voice bot, and these calls actually come to you from as a phone call most of the time, as an outbound call. But we have integrated this into a digital video conference inside. So if I gave you that link, the bot would be like one of the participants in such a video conference. So she'll come and everyone can hear the same thing. She's just acting, mimicking the human being in some sense. So I hope you got the idea. If there are any more questions, then I can take it. We are already reaching our 1 hour mark. Okay.
Same, sir.
Yep.
Sir, if we don't respond in a way the bot is expecting, suppose he is asking whether you have purchased the car, and I answer in a totally different way or a totally different answer. So, what the bot will do? Suppose I.
Also, it will say, sorry, I did not understand you. Can you repeat? That happened once. I actually did something to do that, and it actually comes and says that, uh, can you repeat it? And if you again say something very different from the context, then it will say, okay, sir, one of my customer executives will call you back. Okay. So that's what it's programmed to do. Now, because you asked this question, the claims in the market and including Google are that they are trying to get any conversation done, and the truth is it is not there today. Yes, there's a lot of work happening for all kinds of open-ended conversation. That's mostly in the NLP domain. So most of these things and advancements fall into the NLP domain, where you can understand what's being said and then give a proper answer. So the context, normally in the business case, it's very easy to limit the context. But if it's a generic thing, then yes, you can have any context, and the bot will, over time, maybe within a few years, yes, it will be able to answer your query, all kinds of queries, and it will become more humanized. So if you say, oh, I'm feeling very cold today, so you say, oh sir, oh, I'm so sorry to hear. So all of those nuances can be built like a human being, like a human interaction into the bot. Okay.
So the other day, Sundar Pichai was showing something on booking an appointment with a doctor. I think that was the demo he gave.
Yeah. So that demo, people have asked him to release it so that everyone can book a demo, book a doctor. And he has not given it to the rest of the public. So, which effectively means that yes, it's possible, but it's not yet there for the general public. Yes, it will be possible in maybe a few, maybe 6 months, 1 year. I don't know the timeline, but yes, there's a lot of progress happening in that area.
Okay. And a lighter observation. Your Bhasa female was having a bindi, and your Hindi female was wearing Western clothes.
That is all due to Pranay, who is online here. So maybe just to differentiate the language. Yeah, that she's a different bot than the previous bot. Okay. So,
very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So this is the voice thing. So we are kind of. I have not touched upon voice transformation, but I can quickly do that because that's something very close to Dr. Arun and my work. I actually started Voxomos with voice transformation. So we have some very good IPs there. So voice transformation has 2 or 3 flavors. One flavor is where you just change something, like you make a male sound like a female, or those are pretty straightforward pitch and some other characteristics of the voice you can change. But the more complex one is where you do the voice individuality transformation, meaning you turn a voice into someone's specific voice. Like I turn my voice into Amitabh Bachchan's voice, and that is a very good technology. And Dr. Arun has written papers with his PhD thesis, and we have actually improved that, and it really works well. But we still need data, and when it comes to brand ambassadors, we need their permission. So that's where, because you can't just go into the market and say I built this and do it. So you need a lot of data to do it. Now, you saw the bot interaction there. Now imagine the text to speech where the bot image was static, like what Dr. Behal was saying, with one with a bindi and one without. Now there, someone can actually do a uh, like a brand ambassador and the brand ambassador's voice, and with that lip syncing which I showed you, you can imagine what's actually happening here. You can have a interaction with the everyone who is calling into a Domino's will have an interaction with uh, the brand ambassador. So the brand ambassador is booking your Pizza Hut table, and he's saying, okay sir, kitna pizza chahiye, which ones do you want. That is possible through this digital technology. So it's pretty powerful in that sense if you combine all of them together. Okay, so I'll go back to my presentation. I have many other things on the image front. I'll close the voice thing. Let me see what all. Earlier we had shown a lot of these things. Am I sharing my screen? No.
No.
Okay. And let me just do it again. Okay. We went through this. So actually, let's go back here. So I'll just mention all the areas and then I'll move forward. So we have a lot of areas. Maybe very soon this will not, all of this will not fit into one class. But yes, let's see, music, speech to text. Yeah. So voice and language technologies. This is the complete list of things for this voice and language technologies. Text, which we kind of have approached or been asked to work on over time. Some of these pieces we own, some of these pieces we have to work on. But text to speech, speech to text, voice transformation, natural language understanding, noise reduction is very important in the car. You see when the window is down, then there is a lot of noise. There is directional noise. So Dr. Arun has already worked on some of those problems. Language training, voice biometrics, which is called speaker recognition. Then there is a voice quality measurement. How well the call went. Language translation and identification, emotion detection, and then source separation. Like in a meeting, five people may be talking together, and you may want to do a transcription of that with each person being marked differently. That Sandeep said this, Dr. Arun said this, Dr. Behal said this. So those are also actually pretty interesting and tough problems, but they are getting solved today. A lot of progress has been done on that, and speech enhancements and hearing aid. So many times you want to enhance the speech, which is related to noise. One way is you reduce the noise. The other way is you enhance the speech itself. And some of these technologies can find its way into the biomedical segment. And so you saw Stephen Hawking had a text to speech engine helping him in conversing, and it was supposedly picking up signals from his throat or wherever. Maybe Dr. Arun knows more about
Yeah.
that. So
It's a
there are a lot of
thing.
glottal, yeah. So there are a lot of these biomedical use cases which are very interesting. We are not working on them today, but those are all possibilities. Similarly, if you go to the image thing, there is animation. There's a lot of hype on AR, VR. It's okay. It's mainly gaming thing, but it has potential in education also, especially if you want to like do a tour of a historical place, then you can get a very enhanced thing. And all these AR, VRs can be added on top of this video conference kind of a platform. So you can imagine where we are headed in a few years. Your video conference, you can sitting here, you can have a 360-degree view of a tourist site, which will be as close to real as possible. And object recognition, computer vision, face recognition, OCR, and handwriting. All of these problems, when you say, a lot of people will say, oh, it's a solved problem. It's actually not a completely solved problem. Even a simple thing as OCR, if I write two different languages and two different kinds of text in the same image, like you see all those signs which are there, road signs. If you go to the south, you will have signs in Kannada and English and Hindi. So those require some specific work before they will become real. The basic technology is there, but doing it in a general manner and in a multilingual manner, it still requires more training. The models may remain change, or may also need to change some of those. Handwriting recognition, image enhancement, image filtering and transformation. Then drones, I just wrote because there was a possibility of working with it. So drones actually get very good images and they can fly low. And we had a partner who was building drones. So there is a lot of scope for some of these image technologies with the drone platform also. None of these, we are only working in a very few places here. I just mentioned it for the sake of completeness. And biomedical is huge for image recognition. I just came out of AIMS recently, and the doctor already knows. He said, the radiologist, you guys are going after my radiologist, and one day you will make them obsolete. So it's not exactly that, but human beings in the medical domain do make a lot of mistakes, and the software and computer will help them make less mistakes. So that's where this technology will be really useful. He was a surgeon, so he started imagining, and he said, very soon, even the surgeon role you will start helping. So yes, there is a lot of work happening in those areas also, with some of these technologies. Music, just for completeness, I put it. So one of, but I can quickly show you one demo which is very, very interesting. So it's a source separation. So you take an original song, and I can actually convert it. Means we can today convert it, separate it into vocals and the karaoke automatically. And then what we have done in that demo is we have taken an original song, and done this source separation through the technology. Then we took a modern cover version of the same song and did the same thing. Then we took the original singer and put it on the new cover version of the music. So we mixed these two things together, and then I asked one of my colleagues who was a good singer to sing along with the original singer. So it's actually pretty interesting. Today you can sing along. Let's say it's a duet. You can sing along with Lata Mangeshkar if you want, with the same music playing in the background. And we did it just as a demo, but the possibilities are too many. I'll just try to show you, just maybe play it here, and you have to tell me what's happening on these things. There are two three things happening there. There are two different versions of the same song which have been source separated and then mixed, and then there is a live person singing. Sometimes one line he's singing, the other line is being sung by Kishore Kumar, and sometimes both of them are singing together. So it's a chorus artificially created through technology, which is not even possible today because the singer is no longer alive. So let me just try it and see if I can do that. Just a minute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
मेरे महबूब कयामत होगी आज रुसवा तेरी गलियों में मोहब्बत होगी मेरी नजरें तो गिला करती है तेरे दिल को ये सनम तुझसे शिकायत होगी मेरे महबूब
I'll just advance it forward.
कयामत होगी आज सुबह तेरी गलियों में मोहब्बत होगी मेरे महबूब
Yeah, so I don't know if I made myself clear. So this is an old song. The original music was not this. So we basically separated, and the modern cover version was sung by a new singer. His name is Sanam. So he put the new music in there, and so we combined the original version. So one line was being sung by Akash, and the second line was actually being sung by Kishore Kumar himself. It's from the original song, and towards the end, the chorus which was created was Akash singing along with Kishore Kumar. So that chorus was also artificially created. So there are like immense possibilities in music today, mixing different kinds of voices and songs. It's just that the music industry is pretty, I would say, afraid of some of these innovations. So they hide behind music rights, and they don't want some of these technologies to find the real market. But that's okay. This will be there. The technology has already reached this place.
So
So
you initially did source separation, that is, the vocals and the instruments were separated.
yes, yes. So I did it for both versions of the same song, and then I took the music of the modern song and mixed it with the music with the vocals of the older song.
Yeah.
And then we asked one of our colleagues to sing one line, and the second line is being sung by Kishore Kumar himself. So that is the original voice. And then towards the end, there is a chorus which is Kishore Kumar and Akash singing together.
Yeah.
So it's still manual, but I would say 90% of the things we had this automated. Okay.
Okay.
So that was the music part. Image, we have lot of these demos. I'll just show you one or two, and then
You can
we
talk
can
about these song scoring. You can talk about.
yeah. So song scoring is a related technology, which is if you sing and I have a reference of the song, then we can rate you how well you sang, and based on that we can also tell you where you went wrong. And the way it works is on the notes of the song. So from the vocals I can actually get the notes of the song, and then when you sing we can actually match all the notes which are there in the song, in the reference song, and give you a score. This was actually launched in a like a Indian Idol kind of a show in Africa, and we got huge number of people using this. So you can audition from home using this technology. we can create a short list of the good singers for some of these competitions. So that is a song scoring technology, which is a matching of the reference notes to your actual singing. I have slides in there, but yeah, it will take some time, so I can show it to you once it comes up. So, am I sharing my screen?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So I'm reaching the end because we are short of time also. Image one, I will show you one demo. And there are other OCR demos where you give the PAN card. These are used for KYC, digital KYC. But I'll show you some interesting demo here, which is the. So is my screen visible here?
Yes.
Okay. What okay, so you may get too much carried away by all these demos. You have to go back. I'll summarize it in a few minutes. So these are just based on the basic thing of voice and image processing and combining those applications. So all of those, when they get applied, they look very wonderful and very magical. But at the core, some of these technologies are coming of age now. So this is a food item recognition we did for Horlicks as an app. And so if you click your food, it actually went and recognized that food item, and it would also know, like it would count and give you that there are two gulab jamuns in here. From there, they had a database created by the nutritionist or the dietitian, and we were able to actually get the nutrients and the micronutrients. Maybe I should just play this and you will get the idea of this whole app.
Mothers are warriors by default. For example, in today's world, even preparing a child's tiffin is fraught.
Can you hear it?
A little louder, I think you can.
Okay, let me see. I have to bring my Bose speaker, or I can do a share audio. Let's see if it works.
Mothers are warriors by default. For example, in today's world, even preparing a child's tiffin is fraught with anxiety, and rightly so.
The micronutrient deficiencies like that of iron, vitamin A, vitamin D, which are quite common in India, even in affluent sections of the society. And there is no simple way to assess the quantity of micronutrients in our food.
But surely, with all the technological advancements, there must be a way to address some mothers' worries. Introducing Nutrimeter, an app which turns smartphones into nutritionists by just taking food snaps. Beneath its simple interface lies an image recognition technology known as Deep Convolutional Neural Networks, or CNNs.
Our brain processes and creates a photographic memory on constant exposure to the same object and creates a neural database, which then becomes the long-term memory. This is exactly how CNNs also work. CNNs have an algorithm at the back where every food item clicked is stored in the database of the long-term memory. The database unifies the shape, color, size, and stores it. As we keep adding more snaps of the same food item, it automatically starts recognizing it.
Nutrimeter comes equipped with nutrient values of thousands of food items and recipes. Little wonder, Nutrimeter can suggest what foods to add to a child's diet to ensure a balanced, micronutrient-rich diet. That's a big win for mothers. The Nutrimeter app turns your smartphone into a nutritionist with a snap.
So was it audible?
Yes, it was audible.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one, and then one last demo, and then we close it. Means if you have questions, you should keep asking. So this is the image part. I showed you the voice part, and I kind of gave you a feel for how the conversational things can happen. Uh, Pranay, can you actually show the ICICI thing quickly?
Yeah, yes, sir. So, hi, sir, and hi, everyone. So, I am Pranay. I am a UI UX designer at Voxomos. So, we have prepared a small prototype that I'm going to show you a demo from a prototype that I had created for ICICI. So it revolves around the same experience that Sandeep sir had mentioned, like how we can provide a better experience using voice, and how it can, ease up the process. Like in this case, this is about, easing up the process for some few bank related activities. So I'll start. So if I go, if I can just explain it more. This is the ICICI Bank we have prepared for ICICI Bank, and uh, here from here, user can land on this platform. Sorry,
Welcome to ICICI Interact platform. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for home loan.
Sure. Could you also tell me your good name?
Yeah, my name is Amit.
Okay. Are you a new customer or an existing customer?
I'm a new customer.
Hi Amit. I will guide you through the process of getting a home loan. Can you tell me, are you a self-employed or salaried person?
I'm a salaried person.
Thank you for the information. Our bank offers different home loans at a very affordable interest rates and terms. For the best selection of home loan, can you tell me your annual income?
Yeah, it's 10 lakh per annum.
Thank you. Also, please tell me your home loan requirement and tenure for the loan.
I require 50 lakh for 20 years.
That sounds great. As per my analysis, our product ICICI First Home Loan would be the pick for your requirement. Let me share you the links for more information. I can also arrange a call back from our customer representative to you shortly, but for that I require your contact number.
Yeah, that would be great. You can write it down. It's 99999 88877.
Thank you for visiting us. We will serve you the best.
Thank you. Yeah, so as you've seen this is the demo that I was trying to give you and show you how these banking activities can be easily done with a voice. Yeah, so that was about this. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So maybe we didn't explain to you the problem we are solving. The problem is if you go to the current ICICI bank site, it has lot of information, but as a customer, it is not personalized for you. It will say Diwali Bonanza, so the content is there, but as a customer, you can't actually get the things really done on that website. So this is an example of what's called a conversational web, where you see there are images also guiding you, and conversation. It's almost like the next best to visiting a bank. So you go there, you say, okay, I need a study loan for my brother. So you'll say, okay, sir, now here are the different schemes. It's like handing you the brochure for the loan, the like the human guy would do it. then you read it and you say, okay, yes, I'm interested in this, and then there are some supportive questions. And in fact, Pranay stopped earlier, you can actually get the whole form 70-80% filled right there in that single interaction, and you can also get submitted. So that would make all of these websites really functional, rather than just being there and showing a lot of things and saying, okay, you can do credit card, you can do this, but to actually get a work done, you will have to go to some other site and then call someone, and then get it done. Whereas in this case, this whole experience is one, and it is aided by images also. So this is not just voice in there. Whenever there are more than like 6 7 options, repeating it in pure voice becomes very tedious. So if you did such an interaction with an Alexa, you can imagine the limitations it will have. It'll have to show, okay, sir, are you interested in loan or this or that or this? Here we don't have to do that. We just show you the image of the different options. It's just a guidance, and then you can say, okay, I want to go for this loan. So the pure voice experience uh, becomes better if visuals and even the text part is added into the same humanized interaction. Not one way is, okay, you are sending something on WhatsApp and then I'm coming back on the web. So those are also called multimodal, but I would not really call them multimodal in this sense, where we are making a single humanized interaction with audio and images together. So the problem with Alexa is it cannot do images. It cannot show you images. It's a and it's a separate piece of hardware you actually buy. Here you are getting that experience on your current laptop or on your current phone without having to buy an extra piece of hardware. And this experience can be made, means, much better as we work closely with the customer, like the bank itself. So that was the multimodal part we wanted to just highlight, because this is something new. As we were working on these different areas, we actually got some of these things done. And on just on the video conference, you see, we can some my engineers have played around with this background in a different manner, so I can actually change this background. uh, and they have also done this confetti. So if you want to celebrate birthday, or if you like the presentation, then you can click on this. So, that's there. There is one more demo, but we will stop here. We are already way past the time that was allotted to us, and we can do it later also.
So you can talk a couple of minutes about this platform itself, because how it can enable all the speech and in other interaction technologies.
Yeah, so actually this is pretty interesting. But so we don't look at video conference as a pure video conference plan, which it is, and which already solves the problem created by the COVID. And then now we know today I don't visit a customer in Gurgaon because I save time. It's not really necessary. I just get on to a video conference and I get it. The physical interaction will be there. It's really required, especially in education and some of these things. There is no real substitute for the actual classroom, but the hybrid mode is here to stay. The hybrid mode meaning that if you want to, you can do the virtual interaction, but if you really want to do like a face to face or a physical thing, then only you go. Not that just because the customer wanted it, now you travel 6 hours in the traffic and then you waste productivity and time. So this mode is now known. Now it would have taken a lot of years for people to realize this, but now it's there. Now this is a proper video conference thing. You have a I can share it and you can see my screen. So I can share the screen and show you So this is the bottom left is your chat, and in fact we can integrate a text bot or one of the bots inside this chat itself, and an integrated bot like the human being. Like some things, when I'm interacting with you, some things I'm typing in my chat, some things I'm speaking as I'm doing now, and some things I'm showing on a video or a presentation. So that experience can be replicated by the uh, bot also. So the human being can come in later. So these are the normal screens, the mute, unmute, and leave, and the video. And then you can increase the size by doing this view full screen. And this is changing the mode from the tile mode to the. Actually, I have a control here where I can control everyone's screen, so everyone follows me. So now I can put Dr. Arun in the limelight. So this is a view we have. So we have a lot of these customizable controls here, which we can do. And then you can invite, you can join this conference through a phone also. We have that ability. So you can just dial in as a pure audio kind of stuff. Okay. Pranay, can you mute your video? Yeah.
So basically, there are advantages that allows this to be preferred over some standard solutions like Zoom and Google Meet, right? Which is why many of the customers are preferring this.
Yeah, so we are adding on some of these AI capabilities inside. And then we have some more stuff into the speaker stats. All the chat conversation can be stored. And then there are things like what I described, the language translation, all of those can be inbuilt into such a platform. We have not done it. Like, let's say I have a one on one meeting with an Indonesian firm and I don't know their language, Bhasha. Now, how do I interact? Either I need someone who is a translator, or this platform can actually help me do that. So I can speak in English and it will be converted to Bhasha text, like first converted to English text, then converted to Bhasha text, and then Bhasha text to speech. So the other person will actually hear it in Bhasha, and then they will talk back in Bhasha and I'll hear him in English. So those kinds of linguistic barriers will go away, and all of those can be integrated very seamlessly into these kinds of platforms. So this platform has huge potential in terms of integrating some of these AI technologies and making unified communication where text, audio, and video all coexist at the same time.
So for a company like yours, having your own platform has offers a lot of flexibility in integrating these technologies. Right?
Yes, actually, that is a sweet spot to be in. So, what's happening in the market is that a lot of people have realized this basic truth that video is very important, and what video conferencing enables can also be combined with AI and more intelligence, and it can solve some of the current problems. The whole contact center and customer care, within 2 years you will see it would have completely transformed from what it is. Even all those static websites which are all out there, I don't see a future for them. Basically, they are too cluttered. There is a lot of clutter on every possible website you go to. It's all text heavy, and then there is a text bot which pops up, and it doesn't solve a real problem. It is just there because it's the in thing. It's not really humanized. I'm not criticizing the power of a text bot. I'm just saying that it is insufficient when it comes to the humanized interaction. So, and some of these are converging together, and the future looks. Well, I mean, to me, it looks very exciting. To some people, they might feel that, oh, अब सब कुछ हो जाएगा, फिर बचेगा. There is always a lot of work remaining to be done, and especially in education, in healthcare, in medicine, at the intersection of technology and medicine. And some of these things are very difficult problems. People claim this conversational AI, it will continue to evolve for the next 5 to 10 years, and the language translation also. So every year, large companies can come and claim they have solved the problem, but it's not really completely solved in my mind. Even a simple thing as adding emotions to a text to speech is not really an industrial quality solution today. Yes, we are very close to it, but it's not really a completely solved problem today in terms of the industry. Academics, I think a lot of work has happened. Okay. So this is a very unique way. So all our demos very soon we will be able to show right here into the system. Means today I had to jump through maybe a few websites and here there, but we can integrate many of those demos, including voice transformation. I can just switch on one knob here, and you will hear me in the same voice video conference with the changed voice. So all of those can be integrated inside this kind of a platform. Okay.
Okay. So, any questions now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a bit louder.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Sir, as you mentioned, with this voice transformation, individual voice transformation, sir, and the one application of the voice biometrics in the banking sector, sir. So, sir, if we are able to transform the voice, individual voice, then it can be a threat for the banking system, sir. I mean, for the if we are using the voice as a biometrics for the accessing the account and all the things.
Yeah. So this is a good question. This is like saying that you have built a virus, and you are also building the antivirus. So there is when the voice transformation technology actually kicks into the market, there will be a parallel thing improvement in the voice biometrics, where it will be able to differentiate between a synthesized voice and a live human voice. So those that I mentioned briefly about live and spoof detection.
Yeah.
So the spoof detection kind of things will also mature. And yes, it can be a race. Like what happens is when you mimic. Now let's just talk between two human beings. Let's say I mimic my friend's voice and call you. Then maybe once or twice you might get fooled, but you may be able to later find out that I'm not my friend talking. So the same way, the machine can actually figure out some of these spoofs. If it is a very good spoof and the human beings can also not differentiate, then anyway that person could have done it without the voice transformation technology also. Means mimicking is not a crime today as such, unless you use it for a wrong purpose. Okay. So did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So voice biometric will improve to include spoof detection.
I have another idea.
Yeah.
Usually, when you're doing a video conference, because of poor network quality, the video drops.
Yeah.
So you can't substitute that my face on the other end and lip sync and all that with my voice.
Yes.
So fill in those gaps.
Yes, it can be done. Means not today, but with more work, yes, it's possible.
So something similar is done in these standards for speech coding. So if some for VoIP in particular, so if some packets are lost, then for a few frames the previous speech is repeated. Of course, after that, so that I mean, it is better than just having silence. So for few tens of milliseconds, the previous speech is firstly it is sort of changed little bit, extrapolated, and then repeated, and then finally it stops. and hopefully if it again comes back, the packets start getting back, then it can continue. So it is something similar to that what you are suggesting, but yeah, there can be, I think, these avatars. Your avatar can be sitting and lip syncing with what you are saying. So that's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
You can be your own brand ambassador. Means basically you may be what people do today in Zoom and other meetings. They are just dressed up on the top half and not dressed up in the yeah. So if you're not feeling up to it, at least there will be a better version of you talking to the people. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it. I hope you found it useful and exciting. It's a lot of hard work which goes from the team day in and day out to reach where we are. And the market is another, I will say, conundrum or whatever. But yes, it is breaking now. So now people realize, especially after this last 1.5 years, some of these technologies are becoming more accepted by the customer.
I think the real change is now you don't really have to explain to the customer the need, the basic need of these digital technologies. That part is understood. So, in that sense, the technology is already broken in with the customer, and then you can directly go to the offerings.
Yeah, and I just wanted to close it from our side. What happens is like each individual is unique. Each company over time becomes unique. So you will see parts of it being claimed by many companies. So if we go into the VoiceBot space, there are a couple of companies, and then there are people whom we call fake it till you make it kind of people. So you will see everyone will claim if you write conversational AI, your mind will be inundated. But if you go deeper into it, they will not have one or the other thing. Either they will be pretty much text heavy and just experimenting with voice, or they'll be pure voice. And so that integration might be missing. That's the voice bot space. And then there are the other. So combining this text image together into a meaningful humanized interaction has taken us years and years, and it's still evolving. So it is a different kind of a personality now our company has, which is a mix of all of these, which is the proper humanized thing anyway. Just text is not the greatest thing. Just touch is not the greatest thing. Just voice is also, it turns out, not the greatest experience. You need to supplement it with some images. But voice remains at the center of the interaction. Even in video conference, if you really look at it, people will notice the audio quality more than if the video is not there, you can even shut that. But if the audio quality is not good, then that video conference is of no use to the participants. So in that sense, voice is at the center, but having video and other modes of communication helps you make it much better.
Okay, so with this, let me thank Sandeep Kumar on behalf of the class for the excellent presentation and the demos, and giving us a glimpse of what are the possibilities with voice as a center. So it's truly an exciting space to be in and working for the future. So thank you, Sandeep.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Yeah, and if you have any follow-up questions, you can write to me or write to sir, and he will forward it to me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then, so we can close the session now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.